Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my stream. I think Minecraft just crashed. I swear, as soon as I start stream, that's when Minecraft decides to crash every single time. Oh well. Well, it gives us men to catch up, guys. How are y'all doing? Hope y'all are doing okay. I know we just talked last night, but I still hope everything has been going well for you today. And if things haven't been going your way today, take a deep breath, relax. There's nobody anticipating anything happening other than Minecraft crashing on the stream. So just take a deep breath, try to relax. If you want to, just listen to this as like a podcast in the background. That's what I like to do with streamers. I like to listen to streamers just kind of in the background. I'm not always active when I'm watching a stream. I don't always comment. Uh, I don't always comment. I don't always make my presence known during a stream when I'm watching a stream. But I do like to just listen to streamers talk in the background because some of them actually have a soothing voice. I don't know if I do or not. I've never really given it much thought or paid much attention. But like I said, this is going to be just a chill stream. We're not really doing much of anything this stream. I've actually spent most of the week away from Minecraft, so I don't really have a whole lot. And we're back. Okay. So we're back on Minecraft. Let me unmute my background so we can hear the game. And I was doing wild. I was trying to find some oak wood. I ended up finding this cute little village. I haven't looted it yet. I just got here. But I like it. It's cute. So I just need to sleep real quick, actually. Surely there's a bed in here somewhere. I'm not taking any of the leather armor. Other players could have it. There's not really much of a need for leather armor, actually. Not with my diamond armor. The only time I'd really need it is like if I was going to be somewhere that there's a lot of powdered snow or there's a chance of finding powdered snow. Then I would need it. Trust me, I'm doing you a favor. Ah! I was inside of him for a minute. Ooh. Blue ice. And a snow block. A potato. Okay. Also, yes, I have ancient debris in my inventory. I found some by accident. I was getting some magma blocks before this, and I accidentally found some ancient debris. I mean, I'm not going to complain, you know? I'm not going to complain. I forgot I'm wearing Frostwalker still. I forgot to change boots. Oh well. It's fine. Oh, there's a house up there. Couple of houses. Spiders actually have an interesting mechanic in Minecraft. They're hostile when it's dark, but they're friendly when it's light. It's an interesting mechanic. Staring contest right into a soul. Okay, I hate spiders. Just make my skin crawl. I'm leaving now. So pretty much all we're doing this stream is I'm actually going to be making what I was preparing to make last stream. I don't really want the paper. I have plenty of paper. Mm. Hmm. No, I have plenty of compasses. My librarians all sell compasses, and I don't need any maps. Let's try wild again. Ooh, a jungle. Not what I needed, but I mean, there are some oak trees. I mean, there's an oak tree right there. I don't need much oak. I just need enough oak I can make 4 trapdoors. Like, I literally do not need much at all, but I have nothing at my base. I have no oak anywhere at my base. I'm just going to grab these trees and hope they're just the normal growing oak trees. And that should be all the wood I need for now. Did I just hear a cat? Was like in the game, or was that my cat? Wait, are there still ocelots in the forest? I thought they changed the way those spawned. Maybe I'm mistaken. Geronimo! It's really like a little lake to nowhere. Okay. Come on. Okay, so that was a bit of lag. Okay, so we're going to get that. We're going to... No, that's pressure plate. 4 trapdoors. Put that there. Okay, so now I need... How many hoppers? I need 50 hoppers. None in there, but I do have some of that. Okay, that works. $50. Okay. So we are almost done getting all the materials we need for this particular farm that I'm working on now. Okay, so yesterday on stream we got together all the materials that we need to make a food farm, which is this one right here. This is everything that I'm going to need for the food farm later on. I'm going to need some more torches probably, but I can make those later on as I need them. Then I was getting some magma blocks yesterday, I finished getting all that I needed, and I got some extra ones too, just in case. They're up there. But I got all of that. I got the glass that I needed. I put the turtle eggs in this. Got the white terracotta. I'm about to make some more ladders. I'm going to stick the ladders in here. I need 2 stacks of ladders. And let's see what else I'm going to need. I'm going to... just the ladders. Okay? So just the ladders, and that should be everything. I know I had some ladders left over from the food farm. Yeah, 3 ladders. Okay. Well, let's do this. Spruce. Make some sticks. Make some ladders. There we go. 2 stacks of ladders. And that's all I need for that one. Okay. I forgot to put the trapdoors in it, I feel like. Yeah, I'll put 1 stack of trapdoors. Okay, hold on. There we go. Okay. Now let me put some of this stuff up and... Okay, we'll put this stuff up and then I'm going to go to where I'm going to be building the food farm first. Now, whenever I build a farm, I like to just get the farm down first and then wherever it is that I'm going to be building the farm, then I like to make it into the pretty place like this. I got things down where I wanted them and then I'm trying to make it look nice. It's not quite what I'm doing with the other base, but it's not quite what I'm doing with the other base, but it's how I prefer doing things. Okay. So what I discovered about the portal that I made here at the mangrove forest, what I discovered about that is it was in the absolute perfect spot. I'll show you what I mean. We are on the nether roof right here. Okay. So this is the large nether waste. Okay, this is where I'm going to make this nether waste. This is where I'm going to make the gold farm. It extends quite a ways. And even if I put it right above the nether portal, it doesn't matter. Because where my AFK spot is, it's going to be up to where nothing else will spawn. So things will only spawn there. So as you saw when I went over here just a minute ago, this is the Crimson Forest biome over here. So right here, I can put my food farm right here. And this is very close to the nether portal. But right here is a large enough area right here where I can put the food farm and my AFK spot, and it'll all work out. But then I'm thinking I only looked in 3 directions, not 4 directions. But right over here, oh, this is still nether wastes. Okay. Now I'm trying to remember if it was this way or the other way that I went from the nether portal. Thinking it was this way. Thinking it was north. Yes, it was. It was north. Soul Sand Valley. Boom. This is the best place to build a ghast farm. So I have 3 prime locations for farms very close by. So right here, Nether Waste, I can make my gold farm. Crimson Forest, I can make my food farm. Soul Sand, I can make a ghast farm. And I can also, and right in here, anywhere in here, I can put a bartering farm. Because there's enough space. I haven't been in this direction. I don't think there's anything over here where there's a specific biome that I have to build a farm. I think the ones that really only have specific farms for their biomes that I can put on the nether roof is the soul sand. Okay, so warp forest is this way. But I'm thinking there's only like Nether Waste, Crimson Forest, and Soul Sand Valley. Thinking those are the only ones that have farms that are specific to those biomes. So first things first, I am making a food farm because my goodness, I need the food. I'm going to starve to death if I don't get food. Now I am going to kind of leave chat. I'm just so I can watch a tutorial video for this because I don't remember exactly how to make this. So I'm just following a video by Logical Geek Boy. I really, really like watching his tutorials. The reason I like doing that is because when I watch his tutorials, he not only explains how to make the farm, but he also explains why it works. So that, for me, is a big help because once you explain to me how it works, I can usually recreate it and even expound on the basic design. I just have to fast forward a little bit. Okay, so just pick a spot and start putting down chests. Looks like it's 5. Okay. So I'm just going to go this way across here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make them double chests. I know he usually puts them like 7 high. And I usually have no problem with putting them 7 high, but okay, so 2 more layers of double chests. Now, honestly, for this particular farm, I probably will need all of this storage, but only if I AFK here for several hours. I won't usually need this much storage And the only reason I'd say that I would need this if I AFK'd here for several hours is because there's really nobody else that plays on the server right now. And so I would be the one using all the food that comes out of this myself. And it would take me a while to go through this much food. So this isn't really a farm I could AFK at for very long. Okay. So now we're just going to go back 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This part of the tutorial I remember without having to watch it. Oh, okay. Well, I did kind of mess it up a little bit, but it works. It's fine. It doesn't really matter so much where the where these are, so it's fine. Actually, it's going to bother me, so I'm just going to go ahead and move them. Okay, so what he did was he actually went up. And what I mean by up was he actually just went like that. Just up one level. Then he put them here like so. And he just literally put this on top of the storage system. Which I guess in a way kind of makes more sense than how I just did it, so. But also, I don't want to mess up something and then the farm looks like it has bad rates. Because this doesn't. I've actually built this farm before, how he built it. And the rates, as long as the server has good rates, good spawn rates per player, this has really good rates. You know what? I think I have some extra netherrack. If I don't, I'll just hop down and grab it. But okay. So let's just grab all this glass. I guess really I could just grab everything out of here except the ladders. And yeah. Okay. So what he's doing is he's making a 3-high border around the soul sand. So 3 high. Two, three. Oops. Okay, so full disclosure, while I'm building, I'm going to go ahead and talk about some anime. But full disclosure, I have not watched any of this weekend's episodes yet of My Hero Academia, Spy Family, or Eilish 7. So I have a lot of catching up to do when I get off. Like I was saying yesterday, though, I have been into House MD here lately, and I'm not entirely sure why. I'm just mildly obsessed with the show at the moment. So I've been watching more of that than anything else here lately. Now, I know that you hear the gas making noise, but there's not any gas anywhere nearby. It's just you're hearing them through the bedrock. Hold on, let me get my earbuds. I forgot that he actually talks. He doesn't. It's not like watching. It's not like Shulker Craft. He doesn't um show you. Give me just a moment. Let me get my headphones. Okay. Sorry. I had to wear. I had to take my headset off so I could put an earbud in my ear. Okay. Okay. So we're going to go up to the top here. Oh, wrong thing. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to go one. Wait, is that the one he's talking about? Okay, so yeah, it is 8 blocks up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And he says I could have used any block. I just went ahead and used netherrack, which is what he used in the video. It doesn't really matter to me what the solid block is, so I'm just going to go ahead and use netherrack since I have a lot of it. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then we're just going to kind of fill this in. So we're going to just go couple, and then 8, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that lines us up at the end of that one right there. So we're just going to go across. I guess we're not going to need that right now. And this is just the kind of mundane placing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is just the kind of the mundane placing that I did when I finished up the gunpowder farm the other day. I just filled in the blocks. I don't know why this is so relaxing. 3, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10. I don't know why just placing blocks like this is just relaxing to me, but it is. Who knows? Really. Dang it, I missed it. Hey, got it. Okay. Now I'm just going to hold shift so I don't fall off again. Ugh, I hate falling off. It's annoying. Now I just need to give myself a better place to land. It's also kind of the same thing that I really hate when I'm building a goat farm. And especially in survival. Is I fall off of it quite a bit. And then have to really maneuver to get back onto it. Now, later on, I'm not going to build a gold farm for quite a while. Mainly because I just went and I got a whole lot of magma blocks, and I am not ready to go do that again. Though, I did manage to find a place where there were a lot, and I mean a lot, of magma blocks. So, I did actually set a home there for later on. But I just don't think I'm ready to go searching for magma blocks again. At least not anytime soon, because I will need a whole lot of them before I can make that gas farm. Especially because when I make my gas farm, I go a little bit overboard with it. And by overboard, I mean I make it so that it's like 4 farms connected. Like 4 farms together. And because it's that many, I can get about 4 stacks of gas tiers per night. Well, not per night, but per hour, basically. There's no way that I need that many gas tiers, especially not while I'm basically the only person playing. So, I'm not in any rush to build it, because the main thing you need gas tiers for are for potions that I don't make, or for the end crystals to reset the end. So, or to respawn the Ender Dragon. And I have no plans at all whatsoever to respawn it anytime soon. I don't mind selling not gas tiers, but crystals to other players who would like to see the end, to have a chance to fight the Ender Dragon again. But I mean, other than that, there's really no use for them. So there's really no point in making a farm for them. Now, this pork chop farm that I'm making, there's a lot of use for it. Not just for new players, but for myself. The gold farm, there's a lot of use for that as well. especially because I'm dealing with villagers a lot, and I will need. Is that all the netherrack I had? Okay. Oh gosh. I went too high. Oh, there. Oh my goodness. So as you can see, this is a lot of spawns. Okay. Oh my goodness, almost died. Okay. As you can easily see, it really spawns very well. It spawns very well. Okay, so let's try this again. Let's go to the mangrove. And I still say these frogs are just creepy. There we go. Ha! Okay, and we're just going to kindly nudge you off. There we go. And let's just light up this area. That kind of prevents the piglins from spawning. Does not in any kind of way prevent the hoglins from spawning, but can't really do anything about that. Okay, so I need more netherrack. I miscalculated it by just a bit. Either that or I use the netherrack for something that I don't remember using it for. Okay. So now let's see about some more of this tutorial. Okay. Then So just a single torch on a block in the middle here. Then we're going to, where's the, there it is. Wait, I have them right here. Never mind. Okay, we'll take some trapdoors. Okay, add 2 like that. And we're going to do that on all 4 sides. There we go. Okay, then we're going to take one right in the very middle, like that, and do that on all 4 sides. Except you only need to be 1 high here. Then on each of the 4 corners, we're going to put a nylium. And then 1 in every center. So let's do the corners first and then every center. So that's every corner. Then the center. I think we're going to go the center again. That's not what I want to do. I think the other piglin was too far away to have aggroed. I could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure it was. I don't see it. It would have been down there. Or somewhere in where it could see me. Okay, so I don't think it aggroed. Okay. Well, I mean, it doesn't matter if it did or not because, well, we wouldn't have gone down there to look at it anyway. Okay. Okay, so count 4 over. 1, 2, 3, 4 in the 5th block. We're going to break and put a nylium. Yeah, see, it's middle and then middle again. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Break the 5th block. Put down nylium. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th block. Break it. Put a nylium. 2, 3, 4. Nylium. 1, 2, 3, 4 nylium. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then a nylium. One, two, three, four, nylium. 1, 2, 3, 4, nylium. Alright, so that's all done. I did not mean to fly just then. I don't know how I did. Sure, because I definitely did not double tap. So now we're just going to put a fungus. Okay. So now we're going to start placing torches. We're going to put on every block in between the fungus. Do that. Do it here. Then we're just going to put one every single block between the ones going this way. And of course we're going to skip this opening right there. Well, I am short some torches, looks like. Looks like I'm actually short, like, literally one torch. I don't really think that matters, but I'm going to need some torches anyway for myself. So I'm just going to go back and grab a few. Okay, well, let me sleep first, actually. Wait. There we go. Okay. So that's the one torch we missed. Sure. Yeah, all the rest of this lines up. Okay. So the last step we need to do for the farm is we're going to make that border wall around it. That's the last thing that needs to be done for this. Now, I'm only making this a single level farm. It can be made up to 5 levels. You just need to repeat all of these steps up 5 levels. then I like to use glass personally. He uses glass, and personally, I like to use glass for the wall as well. Same reason as him. He likes to see inside the farm. I like to see the inside of the farm too. But also, it's a non-spawnable block. If you were to use something like wood, concrete, stone, which is perfectly doable, those will work perfectly fine. But if you use those for this, you would have to put like carpets on top, or half slab, or bottom slabs, or something on top, stairs maybe. But it would have to be something that was non-spawnable. And this is just really killing two birds with one stone, in my opinion. I get to see what's happening inside, and I don't have to worry about things spawning on top of it. It's a win-win. Okay, the last stack of glass, I should have just enough to finish. Yep. Also, while I'm thinking about it, I did post that poll on YouTube, so you can go check that out. Wait, I still need to stay in here. I forgot something very important that I need. Oh, I didn't add all of the torches. Okay. Okay, so I need to put some more torches down. Okay, so one diagonally up from the one in the corner, one on both sides of these. I mean, I kind of get it, because I know that at a certain light level is when, like, piglins and all of that starts spawning, but still. So now what we're going to do is, we got to light this up. Eek! Not me. I don't need to burn. There we go. Now the last thing I need is to just grab those blocks out of here. Sorry, I was readjusting how I was sitting. Okay. So once I have all of that lit up, the farm itself is complete now. I just have to make the AFK spot. Sorry, I'm watching the video. I'm going to go center. Yeah, okay. Okay, so we're just going up to the build height limit, and that's where the AFK spot is going to be. Now, the reason why it's going to be up here is because of how the spawning sphere works. And I think I talked about this a little bit when I was making the squid farm. But this applies much more to this. With this in particular farm, this is oh 128 blocks up, which is 2 stacks of anything. 128 blocks up. But instead of using this last one, I am going to put glass. And we're going to kind of come over to the middle of the farm. I need to turn up my render distance. Okay, let me just turn up my render real quick. Is it my render distance or my field of view? Because I don't see my far. I should be able to see it, like, right down there. Um... Hmm. Hmm. Okay, well... So this. Okay, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I know that 11 right here is going to be the center of the farm. So I can build our little platform right here. I know that right here is going to be the very middle. And there will be no gas spawning right here. So I can just literally just stand right here and this will work fine. Now, how this works is pretty well known how it works, why it works. I don't really need to explain it. But for this farm, as long as I AFK up here in at the build height limit, that gives me a 128 block spawn sphere around me that ends right at the bedrock. So like when I jump off of here and I'm flying back down, that means that there's nothing that can spawn below the bedrock. Oh gosh. The sound. But that means that there's nothing that can spawn below the bedrock. Wow, just that quick. So as you can see, guys, it works really well. Just that quick. I have so much food and leather. But because it's 128 blocks up, because of that, nothing spawns below the bedrock. And so the only thing that can spawn is right here on the is right on the netherrack that I put down for the farm. So because there's nothing that can spawn below the bedrock because of where I'm at, it forces everything to spawn right there. Now, for max spawn rates, only do up to 5 levels of this farm. Anything more than 5 levels and it doesn't, and you're pretty much maxed out. In fact, it will actually start decreasing some of your spawn rates, some of your rates for this farm. So you would want to only go, like I said, 5 levels. That's because of the spawn cap. I mean, the mob cap. But by doing 128 blocks up, that gives you max spawn rates, because it forces everything to only spawn there. And because things are forced to only spawn there and the mob cap is consistently being emptied, you can get a lot of food in a short amount of time, which is what we were just seeing. I'm assuming the farm is right there below me. I can't tell. My brightness, I think, is turned all the way up, but I still just can't tell. For as loud as this farm is, the gas farm is even louder. Now for the ghast farm, it's actually pretty easy. I can't build a ghast farm yet, because for the ghast farm I actually would need some, for the ghast farm I would actually need to have wither roses. And wither roses, you can only get those if the wither kills mobs. So like chickens, if you have a chicken farm, you just get a bunch of chickens, a bunch of eggs, and then just kind of toss them into a spot underneath the bedrock in the end. Then you would kind of throw a potion of weakness at them, then spawn the wither, and then spawning the wither would actually kill them and drop the roses. So they're not that hard to get. To spawn the wither, though, you would actually need a wither skull farm. And, well, I mean, you don't technically need a farm. You can just kind of mine enough. Just kind of like go and get enough withers to actually get enough to spawn the wither. You could technically do that. It just takes some time. It takes patience. Personally, I prefer to build a farm. If it's something I'm going to need a lot of, I personally prefer to just build a farm. An auto farm. Preferably, but you can't always get an auto farm. Okay, so I do want to kind of make it prettier in non-spawnable. So I'm going to get... where are they? Must all be in here. Yeah, they're all in here. Then we're going to get some of those. And we're going to make a path over here to this. I will later on kind of spawn proof this area so that nothing will spawn on top of this. And I will actually need to eventually. But for now, this is fine. Sometimes it's glitchy and it kind of startles me because it's like, oh no, I can also see through the bedrock. Once I get off stream, I have some ice cream in my fridge, and I'm just really thinking about the ice cream right now. I'm not going to eat ice cream on stream, though. And actually, I have some M&Ms and some water. I don't know what everyone else's favorite M&Ms are. I don't know what everybody else's favorite M&Ms are, but for me, I really like the peanut butter M&Ms. I'd have to go out on a limb and say that they're my favorite ones. Like, my second favorite M&M would have to be the brownie M&Ms. Like, you know the ones that have like the brownie inside of them? Those ones. Those are probably my second favorite M&Ms. I really love the hazelnut butter, like Nutella stuff M&Ms. I really like those as well. Now, I have seen the ones that have like a coffee bean inside of them. I bet those are actually pretty good. I bet those are pretty good. Because, I mean, coffee and chocolate go very well together. Because I know the coffee and chocolate actually go pretty well together. So. You know what would actually look really nice here is those lanterns that I had. I could probably also do like some carpet. Oh wait, I don't have carpet. Like I do have some moss carpet somewhere, I think. Oh, I need to go find some sheep. Oh no, white carpet. Wait, can you dye just a single carpet? Because I would need to make like black carpet. Oh. I mean, that works, right? Oh, I was wanting the lanterns. 4 lanterns. Doesn't need to be like a lot of light, because it's not like I'm trying to keep anything from spawning. It's just kind of to see where it's at. But I'm eventually probably just going to put like a cover over this so you don't see up there. See the netherrack. But I'm also going to put like a pillar, like pillars down here, like right here. Right across from it. And put these on top. There you go, it's kind of like a lit walkway. There we go. Let's put the carpet here. Kind of hide the bedrock. No, it's probably silly, but just kind of hide the bedrock. That looks nice. That looks nice. Actually, let me go back and grab my claim shovel. I'm just gonna go ahead and claim that area. That's one thing that's very important if you're playing on a server that goes by claims. If you use a claim shovel, that actually prevents other players from messing with your stuff. There's some places that if you don't claim it, or if you don't lock your chests, if there's no claiming system, and you don't lock your chests, and other players take things from you, it's there's some servers that won't fix or replace things that were taken. We're not exactly like that. I mean, I understand, like, if you don't have a gold shovel. There we go. There we go. It's all in the claim area now, so That means players can't mess with it. I'm not going to really do claims around this portal here. I mean, I probably ought to, actually. Really, any claim must be 100 blocks, huh? I can make my little walkway. Also, since I claimed this area, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to leave these shulkers here by this. That way all the stuff I need for the gold farm is here. I'm going to put the gold farm right over there. I'm not going to really make the gold farm right now. I'm going to work on something else at this moment. If I work on too many projects like that at one time, in one session, I don't really get bored, but I get very fatigued building farms. Too many at one time. And I don't mean like building by too many farms. I mean like if I went right now and made a sheep farm, let's say, I'd be okay. But it's a little more on me mentally to make like the gold farm and stuff like that. So I'm gonna hold off on that for right now. But I am gonna have some M&Ms. Ooh, dropped one. Hmm. So yeah, I'm eating peanut butter ones right now. Pretty good. But that, I really need to go and claim that, actually. I'll do that when I'm offline. Or, well, I'll do that off stream. But for now, I'm going to leave it. And I'm going to work a little more on the sorting system. There we go. Actually, you know what? It'd be easier to get to it just by going over here. As much as I would like to just put a button there, I can't really do that. Because if I put a button there, I would probably not make it into the door. There we go. There we go. And then see, I can make two. I can only make two repeaters. Oh, I probably need to make some torches. There we go. Make some more of those. Oh wait, I need to make repeaters. I mean comparators. Not gravel. It'd be great. It'd be cool if gravel worked that way. You know what? That works too. I think I'm just gonna do that. I forgot to put the torches here. There we go. Put the torches, the comparators down. Most of this, I think I talked about this before. Most of this I did while listening to, when I was building the first part of this storage system. I built most of it while listening to a VTuber that I like singing karaoke. Then what I didn't talk about was I listened to an ASMR, a VTuber's ASMR, while building a lot of the rest of it. And by building a lot of the rest of it, I mean getting most of the materials I used to actually build this. Three, four. Four should be all I really need. For now, at least. There we go. So I'm going to just put my extra food in there. And that one for now. Sorry, I tilted my M&Ms back and they all fell out. There's only like a handful of them, so it's too bad, but still. Okay. Got some hoppers, so now I can finish this part of the system. Now it's about to get to trying to find a creative way to hide the system. What I mean by that is when I go up to the next level, I'm going to need a very clever way to hide the top one. Like when I get all the way around here with them, and I get to here and I go up one, I'm going to have to come over here into this wall. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to put kind of like around it and feeding into it. I think I might put a cactus farm here. So I think right over here, like right here, I have magma blocks right here. I think right here I'm going to leave a space for spectral arrows, which I only have a few of them, but I'm going to leave a space right here for them. And then I'm going to put the pork right here. And then I'm going to put maybe a place for... I just had it. I swear I just had it in my head. I swear I just had it. Oh, I don't know where it went to. Cactus. I may just put a space for the cactus here. Now, I like jumping off things too, but that's not what I was trying to do just then. I swear. Things from the nether. I'm trying to group things from the nether or are nether specific or are mostly found in the nether. I'm trying to group them all together and I'm not sure what else to put here. Because like I have... So it goes netherrack, nether brick, soul sand, shroom light, warp stem, the warped wart. This is the warped fungus. And then I have blaze rods, and then I have crimson stem, crimson wart, crimson fungus, and then I have magma blocks. And I kind of want to keep the theme going, like for nether stuff, nether specific stuff right here. I want to keep that going. Like I could put spectral arrows right here because that's one of the things that you get a lot of from piglin bartering farms, and I do intend to build one. I could also, I guess technically, I could also put... Oh, wait, there's some more magma. I guess I could put like weeping vines, warped roots. I guess I could technically put that stuff up there too, right next to it. Like, not put the spectral arrows right there, but I could put that there. And I could definitely put the glowstone there. Because I have a fair bit of glowstone. I really wish I could put the weeping obby or crying obby right next to the regular one, but I can't. Or at least I can't now. I could totally put them together, I guess. Need to put the crimson fungus up here. But yeah, I could probably put the glowstone in one and something like weeping vines and twisting vine. Yeah, weeping vines and twisting vines. That would actually be pretty much perfect for that spot right there. Because there's 3 that I need to fill up, and those would be perfect. So glowstone there. I put the weeping vines in this one right here, and put the twisting vines in the middle one there. Because it's kind of how this is already. Because it's like weeping, then crimson, then everything else. There we go. That's taken care of. I can still put like the roots and like, where is it? Like this, the crimson roots and the warped roots. I could probably put them up there as well. Well, first of all, let me look for the spectral arrows. These right here. I'm going to put those starting over here on this side, I think. Oh, I don't have it on me. Go get it. Yeah, filter items. There we go. Put that up there for now. Just not working on that right this moment. Okay. So, let me do this. Because I am about to have a lot of pork chops. And I really need a place to put them. So let's do filter items. Put the spectral arrows there. We can put the pork chops in this one. Filter items. Then some more filter items. I don't know what I'm going to put there. Maybe some cactus. Filter items. This right here, I think, is a good spot to put like the dyes. Because right now, I do have a way that I can make a lot of different dyes. Thanks both to the bone farm that I have and iron farm, and if I make a cactus farm, that's a good place for it as well. Or that's another dye. Oh, so it's like me in the morning. Yeah. Using just these 3 that I have a lot of, I can make gray, light gray, and pink. And if I get a flower farm like I'm wanting to, like I could do like gray, black, white, red, green, pink, like dyes right there. Like my main dyes. Or I may just do like red, white, black, green. And then whenever I get these farms built, I'll put like yellow, blue, or light blue. Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. Then in this next section after that, I have my end section. So like I would put end stone, purple blocks, chorus fruit, chorus flower. So that would work right there. And then I have some extra things. Have some extra things right there. And I would actually put like stairs or something here so I could go up into the input part of it, which I would put like right up above here. But I also I also make like a cactus farm right there and feed it into it. So I think I'm just going to do like 2 layers to start with, and I think this should be all I need for a while. Because that would also give me room to put more stuff. Like I could, like whenever I make the input, I could actually start the input right over this. And just move the input down as I got more things. So these 2 sections right here would be empty. And I would just put the collection, or start the collection input system right there. That's what I'm thinking, because as it stands right now, I'm pretty sure this is all I'm going to need for a while. But if I ever find that I need more storage for some reason, I can always add. Like I can always just move the collection system down, add this section onto it, move it down again, add this section on. I can even add more on top. Because of the way I made it, it ends right here. Like it would end right here. Like this would be the very, very start of it. Let me change that. This would be the very start of it right there. So I could actually go up and move it down. And just add sections onto it as I need to. If I need to. Which if I can get some bees, I probably will add onto it just a little bit. Add some honey, add some, like honey blocks, slime, like if I ever found a slime chunk. Add that onto it. But for now, I think that's everything. And the spectral arrows, like I said, once I get a bartering farm, I'll have a lot more of those. The glowstone dust, all those come from it as well. Good love, Abby, crying Abby. I probably will in no time open up that section of 6 right there after I finish. But yeah, so that's where I'm at with that right now. Sorry, I'm very much enjoying these M&Ms. Even though they're trying to escape from me. But something I want to do, and I want to do soon, which I think I'm going to try to do on stream today, is I want to dye all of my shulkers. I want to have 1 shulker of each color. Like I want each shulker to have a different color. I'll go ahead and dye this one red to match the floor. And now I'm just going to question where it's at all the time. And this one I'm going to dye white. Okay, so I know this is a bit weird, but I always dye my food shulkers yellow. I dye my tool shulkers like this, I dye it yellow, orange. So my food shulkers are yellow, my tool shulkers are orange. I think I have most of those colors. I think I have most colors. That makes a yellow. Let me get one more yellow dye and I'm going to make it an orange dye. So food is yellow, tools is orange, which I'm going to change this around actually because that shouldn't even be in there. That should be in my nether chest. My ender chest, I mean. Where did nether chest come from? I'm not even sure. I don't really even have a preference for the color of the rest of them. Valuables chests or valuables shulkers, I usually make black. Like shulkers, the valuable things, I usually make black. So like this one would be black along with all of these. Okay. And let's see. Light gray. Let's make one, or let's make two gray dyes. And I know I have some cocoa beans somewhere. There's cocoa beans. There's a green dye. Then we're just going to start dyeing these, just random. We got my main specific colored ones out the way. Okay, so I know there is a lime green that I can make. I think lime green comes from sea pickles. Okay, let's see. Oh, I forgot that made that horrible sound. Wait, do I need... I guess I need Silk Touch for him. I don't think I did, but... Guess so. Wait, where'd they go? There they are. Let's see. No, but if I stay here, I'm going to start getting a bunch of stuff I don't really need. Okay. Sea pickles. Yeah, I thought so. I kind of need to cook them, don't I? Okay. Right, I yoinked my headphones out. Okay, let's go back to where my furnaces are. And let's just grab some of this. Let's go ahead and make another ingot while we have it. That's another reason why netherite is very useful. These are not the boots I want. I want these. There we go. Ah, so much better. Okay, so the only thing I really need to put on my leggings is protection 4. I want to use that. I want to do this one. Slowly my tools are looking normal. Okay. So now I'm missing a light blue, which that's actually pretty easy to get. Light blue is actually pretty easy. And just like that, I have a light blue. Oh gosh. Let me just dispose of these real quick. Better yet. Oh, I don't have it set up. Let's go put it in my composter. disposal. And let's just put those in there. Never gonna use them. Okay. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I'm missing 2. One I know is purple. I'm not entirely sure what the other one is. So I know there's 16 dies. I'm pretty sure there's 16 dies. 2 gray. Cyan. I know I have some cacti around here. Yeah, there we go. There we go. And cyan. There we go. One of all 16 colors in the game. Plus... Well, actually, there are 17 different colors of shulkers. There are 16 dies, but 17 shulker colors. But that's only if you count the original color of the shulker, which is a light purple. It's like a lavender color. If you count that, there are 17 colors of shulkers. There we go. Put the bone meal up. Okay guys, I think that about does it for our stream today. Watch a beautiful sunset as we end our time together today. But it's been fun. We made a food farm. Next time I will probably have a gold farm ready to be made. Which, I mean, I have all the parts to it. It's just a matter of actually building it. So I'll do that next stream. I'm planning on streaming next Friday, as usual. And at the usual time, 7:30. Next Saturday, I'm probably doing one stream, and it's probably going to be in the evening time. I have no plans for any kind of collab or anything. I'm not planning on streaming to YouTube anytime soon. I would like, but that is something that I would like to do. But for the time being, my plans are mostly to try to build a community here on Twitch. That's what I'm kind of focusing on. Though I do have several subscribers on YouTube, so I do want to try to stream on there for them. And I do anticipate streaming on there probably around the new year, if not end of this month. Wait, New Year. This isn't December. This is November. Never mind. The start of December. I'm sorry. Okay, so around the start of December, I anticipate streaming on there at some point. I'm thinking not this month, but maybe the start of December. Just trying it and seeing how that does on there. Of course, I am planning on simulcasting to Twitch as well. Just streaming on both at the same time. If I can get that set up, because it's a little bit to set up. The software that I'm using to stream actually supports it, but I'm not entirely sure about streaming to both. I like streaming to Twitch, and I would like to try YouTube. And like I said, I probably will do that sometime around the start of December, just to see how it goes. But as I was saying last night, I was going to put up a poll, asking which games you would like me to play. That's live over on YouTube right now, and I'm going to leave it there until next weekend. Next weekend, I will look at it, and we can talk about that next Sunday. And I'll spend that week making plans to. I'll spend that week making plans to try one of those other games and looking into streaming one of those other games. Very soon I will be putting on Twitter, asking if you'd like me to do a podcast, and if so, what kind of podcast. So, like I was saying last night, I'm not very specialized in any one particular thing, so it's probably going to be a very broad range of subject matter. But that I will probably stream simultaneously, like I said, across on both platforms. Probably going to end up posting it or leaving it up on YouTube permanently, and then eventually getting around to posting it on Spotify, and just see how that goes from there. But in the meantime, thank you guys for watching. I will see you guys next stream. Like I said, next stream, that's going to be next Friday. I hope you guys have an amazing week. I hope you guys have an amazing night or day, whatever time it is, wherever you are. Bye, guys.